gonna go ahead and play this clip right now, and we're gonna go ahead and dive into it. Sorry, I'll just have to catch it on the back end.
Date a man or a woman for that matter, and you keep sex out the picture, you will both come to a very quick conclusion if you're supposed to be together. Amen. You will. Amen. Now, the women that followed that rule, it was amazing how quick that man came to a decision. Because a man cannot be with you. He cannot be with a woman and he's not getting sex. God designed him that way. And the second reason God designed sex so strong on a man, and so it would keep driving him back to his wife. Because she likes that closeness. He likes the sex. She likes the closeness.
All right, there you go. Pastor says if you keep sex out of the picture, you will come to a quick conclusion. They're supposed to be together. What do you guys' thoughts about that? Trigger Mike, I know you mentioned this before on one of your streams I was listening to. But what are your thoughts about it? I'm going to start with you, Trigger Mike.
Oh, damn. Yeah, I'll go. Shoot. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to King Talk. So, yeah, on the Trigger Mike show, weekday mornings on the Lapeef Network, we talk about stuff like this all the time. I believe it was the Wife Material episode or the How to Choose a Wife in 2023 episode, if y'all want to go check that out. I usually phrase it a little different. I say if you find out if y'all, are not supposed to be together, right? You can make a decision pretty quick, especially women in relation to the man and his intentions. Leave sex out of it. That's very hard for men to do, and modern times is extremely hard for women to do. I would prefer that men and women keep a clear head during the dating process. Now, if a man is going out to look for a wife, he should absolutely keep sex out of it to the best of his ability. You just forget to ask certain questions. Because if you get the booty, then you're just trying to get it again and you start skipping steps. So I really believe in what he's saying. I'm gonna have to think a little bit more about the closeness and all that stuff that he was saying, but I absolutely believe that everything that women are complaining about, they're causing by jumping in bed with dudes too early. So they don't vet properly. They are the ones that get the short end of the stick. Dating is just another win for men. It allows us to collect all the bodies we want, especially if the women are open and having sex without any commitment. So if women want commitment, they should do their best to keep sex out the picture. My mic is muted.
All right. I'm gonna go to you, Ali. What are your thoughts about it, sir?
I think it's a reflection on how much we need to go back to what's traditional when you had families that raised women, good women, and women who were reserved, and women you got to see this side of the family, got to see what that side of the family was like, and got to understand what that woman was capable of. She's a woman who was catering to a man. If she'd be a good woman, a good wife, a good mother, versus today's dating pool. It's like once you if you discuss sex in any capacity and you're setting sex as the goal, she's already viewed as a trophy wife and something you have to work towards for the rest of your life. And it already sets you up for failure because you have to prioritize everything about her. But when that's not discussed, you get to see if this woman is the type of woman who wants to add to your life. You get to see how she presents herself to you. If she's peace to you, if she wants to control you. There's a lot of things that you can get from a woman when she doesn't bring sex into the conversation. If we're just saying individual based and it's not a cultural based, relationships anymore. So yeah, when sex isn't discussed and we're not talking about sex, and you get to see how that woman can add to your life without using sex as a key factor to solidify a relationship, I think it says a lot about that woman, and that may be a good woman to deal with.
All right, Clout Jones. What are your thoughts about it? The pastor says if you can keep sex out the picture, you will come to a quick conclusion if they're supposed to be together. You on mute, just so you know, brother.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with what Ali said, what Trigger Mike said. I feel as though he's right. I mean, not jumping into bed right away gives you the proper time to evaluate, get to know their true intentions and learn who they are.
All right, short and sweet. Okay. Sweeney, what are your thoughts about it?
I guess I can say I agree to a certain extent, but I think regardless of whether sex is there or not, you're gonna get a quick conclusion whether you're supposed to be with somebody or not. I think, you know what I mean? You know whether you're going after somebody for sex or not. And you know what I mean? Just like she knows whether she's going after for sex or not. I think you know. I think most of us know. It's just you largely don't give a shit.
Okay. Anton, I seen you shaking your head. What are your thoughts about it? Did you disagree with Sweeney?
Yeah, absolutely. Because if that was the case, then you wouldn't have a lot of different people talking about you got to live together. I want to see what the box is like before or after, and all of this other type of stuff. So people are confused, right? They hear one thing and then they do a complete other, right? If this was so easy, and if this was the way in which people truly believe, then I would be left with the conclusion that most people choose wrong for themselves, including men, when they have the opportunity to do so. If it's so easy to vet, if it's so easy to be able to determine whether or not a woman is a wife or not, right, then why is there so many people saying that I want to be married, but I have no clue on whether or not this woman is for the streets or not? Right? It's a contradiction of how we truly operate, because most men say that they're not even taking into consideration a woman that's not giving up the box at all. But then all of a sudden we saying that, oh, okay, yeah, this makes sense. I truly live my life from a traditional perspective, right? And that I believe that when you do get the box, and when sex or any other superficial thing is the foundation of the relationship, you can't build a relationship based off of that. You can't build a relationship based off of even whether or not you like the person, because you're not going to like the person at certain points throughout the duration of the relationship. The foundation of it has to be much stronger. And that's why I always rely back on the things that make you equally yoked, your spirituality, the foundation of how you both see life, right? Not even whether or not you're both spiritual, whether or not you're best friends first. Being able to vet without seeing her from a sexual perspective is often at times the way that you're supposed to find the person that you're supposed to be with for the rest of your life, because then you're able to see how they operate under duress. You're able to see how they treat their parents. You're able to see whether or not they truly embrace these traditional values that you embrace at the same time. And you're able to see it without trying to see her undressed. And that's the woman that you want to actually be with. And so when you start to include sex in the picture, which is one of the reasons why, from a traditional perspective, sex is only supposed to be reserved for people that are married, so that you can see clearer of who it is that you're supposed to be aligned with, which is why guys that don't include that are able to identify whether or not they want to marry a woman very early in the inception of the relationship. And it's a bunch of guys, myself included, that already know exactly who my wife was when I first met her, because I can see clearly through things, and the foundation of the relationship had nothing to do with sex. So the minute that you remove sex from the equation, the more effective you can be in trying to determine. If you remove sex from the equation in your life in general, you generally make better decisions, because you're not basing it off of how you feel. And the feelings is a thing that get in the way of you making the best decision. That's why they say post-nut clarity is real. The minute that you not focus on doing something based off of whether or not you feeling sexually frustrated or you got to get your nut off, that's when you start to see like you took a limitless pill. The minute that you get your nut off, I mean, the millisecond, you like, man, I don't even know what I was doing with this chick sometimes. It don't even make sense why you even with that particular woman at that particular time. So I think that when people exercise a level of big discipline and they remove sex from the equation, they can clearly make better decisions for themselves. And it does matter. The problem with society today and most men is that they've been so conditioned to need the sex, and they've made themselves or put themselves in a rhythm to where they have to have it, that they unwilling to go without it in order to find a thing that's really best for them. And so they've already programmed themselves and conditioned themselves to embrace sex as a part of what they need, and they can't remove it to actually find a thing that's best for them.
All right, Shan, what are your thoughts about it, sir?
I think it's all bullshit. You need to. Sex is necessary. Listen, post-nut clarity is only clarity after you bust a nut. If you don't have it, you ain't gonna be clear. Listen, the pastor's saying that if you keep sex, what does it say? Pastor says if you keep sex out of the picture, you will come to a quick conclusion. if they're supposed to be together. That's not true in my experience. And I have an extensive amount of it. In fact, I got a friend that got married, close friend of mine, Trigger Mike. Remember Alpha Phi Alpha from Alpha Delta chapter at USC? One of my best friends. I won't say his name. People that know me know who he is. Didn't have sex out here in LA, got married at Faithful Central Bible Study over in Inglewood. Divorced, I think, in a year. They was together for 2 years, no sex. Semen retention, the whole nine. Then I know somebody that had sex right away, long time ago. Head over heels in love with each other today. 20-something years together. That's not necessarily the case. Just because you have sex or you don't have sex will not be the reason why you quickly come to a conclusion if a woman is with you or not. Men can figure that out anyway. In fact, that's where the experience comes in. That's where, when you're young and you're under 40 or you're under 30, especially, and you're driven by sex, then yeah, you're going to make bad decisions like that. But when you're older and you know better, you can have sex and still figure out if a woman is worthy of your time or not. So in my opinion, keeping sex out of the picture, listen, I understand if you remove sex, you quickly discover, if people have anything to offer. I get that. But taking it out doesn't say, oh, I can see if she's going to be worthy of being a wife or if she's worthy of being in my life right now. You can have sex with a woman and still determine that shit.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Are you unwilling to be with a woman if you can't have sex with her?
Me?
Yes.
Yeah. I got it. Yeah.
Cool. So let's just say, for example, you with a woman and you've been with her for an extended period of time and y'all married, and for whatever reason, freak accident happened, she become incapacitated in some capacity or whatever. You gonna leave her?
No, man. That's not because I'm not with her for
Why? You
sex.
can't have sex with her no more.
I'm not leaving her because I'm not with her for sex.
But you just said that sex was necessary.
If she becomes, I was watching this thing about a guy that just got mad because his wife became a paraplegic and she was on cheating. Listen, if my wife gets in a freak accident, somehow her, whatever, and we just sex stops for whatever reason, and I'm with her because I love her. You say we're already married, right? We're already married. Don't marry somebody because you're having sex with them. That's my whole point.
You said, but wait, Shan, you said you're unwilling. You said you're unwilling to be with a woman without sex.
Okay. Well, okay. I think I'm single. So I'm thinking that you're thinking like in the dating scene, am I going to be, and I didn't know that you was going to hit me with the, well, all of a sudden she can't have sex no more.
But you can't change the answer based off of the new context that I give. The answer is the answer.
When you give more context, I can change the answer.
Well, how? Your standards are your standards.
Because
your standards are your standards, Shan. You can't switch your answer now because the story got sadder. You can't switch up. You got to be consistent all the way through. I'm not with her because of sex. I'm with her because I absolutely adore her and she's the love of my life. The sex is extra, but I'm never leaving her. It's nothing that can ever happen that would ever cause me to ever walk away from that woman, including sex. But we can't change it all of a sudden and say, well, it's a requirement in order for me to be with you, but it's not a requirement in order for me to stay with you. If it's a requirement, it's a requirement all the way through.
Well, so that's what you're saying is if somebody becomes a paraplegic and they can't speak, walk, or talk, are you leaving them? Well, when I was with her, she was this amazing person.
They do it every single day.
Anton, she's suddenly not this amazing person anymore. Now she's bedridden. You got to wipe her butt every day. Are you leaving her? Well, are you? Because she's not this amazing person that you claim that you was the reason why you was with her. No. Context matters. If situations change, then the answers can change.
Shan, the way it came off is like this. Brother, are you the type of brother that can get sex from other women, probably, other than the women you going after?
Who, me?
Yes. Look at you smiling. I got So brothers can get sex, right? So when we get mature, we get older, sex should be the last thing we worried about because we know we can get it. The way it sounded like is that it's a deal breaker if you can't get sex from her. That's the priority. That's what it sounded like.
But no, I get it. So that's what I'm saying. When if I'm meeting somebody or I'm in the dating scene and I'm single Is sex off the table like the pastor said? No. If sex has to be, it's absolutely on the table for me.
But my point is how can you
that's
determine
the position I thought Anton was asking. Then
how
when he
can you
said,
determine that you're built to be able to be with somebody in the event that you can't have sex with them for whatever reason, because it's a multitude of different reasons that we can come up with as to why sex is not in the picture for whatever extended period of time. How can you determine if that was a requirement in order for you to continue to fulfill this relationship, because you don't know how to operate without it, because you've never done it with this particular person. So you don't even know how to exist in a space with a woman without having sex with her, which means that that's a part of the foundation of your relationship from the very beginning. How can we say that that's a thing when we don't really know what we're capable of without it?
Because it is a part of the foundation of our relationship. Sex is a part of the foundation of our speaking, talking is a part of the foundation of our relationship.
Correct.
Interacting with each other is a part of the cooking and cleaning, and me covering her and working together and laughing and vacating. Everything is a part of the foundation of our relationship. Now, in the event that one of those pieces of the pie has to get removed, I'm hoping that there's enough other foundational items that's going to make me want to stay.
But
I'm not saying taking out one, which is sex. I'm not saying taking out
you just
one,
said you
which is
hoping,
sex.
Shan. You hoping.
Well, yeah, of course.
I don't hope. My vows mean something, and so I stick to my word, because that's the only thing that I have as a man, is to be a man of my word. I took the vow for a reason, and I took it before God in front of witnesses. I don't hope. I stand on that.
Okay.
And so I'm saying that, how can you make a decision based off of hope and then expect for you to be able to meet this expectation and this criteria within this relationship when you hoping and you're not even sure whether or not that's the thing that you're going to do?
Because I'm human, Anton, and everybody has to.
Hold on, wait, Shan. I would say the same thing could be said about death, though. How do you know that you're going to be able to be with somebody through death? You don't experience that all the time at the beginning of a relationship or even before a relationship. And I'm with you on that, Anton.
What do you mean by death? What do you mean through death?
How do you know that you can deal with somebody without sex? It's the same thing. How do you know you can deal with somebody through death? Through the death of a family member, a mother, a family member, something like that. You know what I mean? How do you know that? A child.
You
don't know that
until you go through it. Where they lost their daughter and they suddenly their relationship broke up because the daughter died. And I forget the name of the movie.
Essentially, what I'm saying is that I'm in agreement with you when you say you're supposed to stick by your vows. I'm in agreement with you. So I think that at some point when you're within your marriage and you made that commitment, that yes, you're obligated to stick through whether there's sex, whether there's death, whether there's a loss in a family, whether there's a loss of a job or what have you. However, Shannon is not wrong when he says that, hey, look, in the beginning of a relationship, sex is supposed to be on the table. I think sex is supposed to be on the table any point as long as both parties are able and capable. Now,
even before marriage, beginning of a relationship,
even before marriage,
the question isn't asking if you could stay if you're already in a marriage, like you presented, Anton. The pastor saying keep sex out of the picture, and you'll come to a quick conclusion if you're supposed to be together, not if you're together and you're going to stay together. So if you're supposed to be together.
So before
when
marriage,
you ask the question, I'm at the stage of the relationship that the pastor's talking about in his video clip, which is probably not wife and husband yet, but I'm trying to figure out if we gonna get together and I'm gonna remove sex and we just dating each other. My example of my homeboy who's an alpha with his wife, we remove sex. We're talking about prior to matrimony. But your example, Anton, is after matrimony, and then suddenly an accident happens and you can't have sex no more. That's not even what we talk about, or the pastor.
That's exactly what we're talking about, because it happens every single day. The minute that sex gets removed from the picture, whether it's dudes that do it every day. We've had this conversation literally on this platform.
I've been in the sexless marriage.
And I remember when we had. Did you leave?
No, I didn't.
Did you? So you still married to her then?
No, I'm divorced. But the sexless part that was taken out is not the reason for the divorce. I'm just saying I know what it's like to be married and not have sex with your wife, sleeping in another room.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not gonna ask the details, so.
But okay,
I'll give it to you one day.
We all let's take full accountability for anybody who's single, who not with anybody, right? We all know how to have sex, right? But let's say that the sex was good, and but we can also agree that sex can complicate things, right? We know the two of the people that come together we know we can have sex. The primary issue for why people aren't being together typically has nothing to do with sex, because if it's good sex, and the person is a horrible quality person, people are still staying in a relationship for a duration of time with a person who was a horrible person because of good sex. But then if it's bad sex and you were a great person, that's what I think Anton was kind of hitting as well too. If this is a amazing wife, it's bad sex, are you going to stay with her?
And even on the other side, Ali, because Anton mentioned post-nut clarity. It's like, damn, after Wheezy said it best. As soon as I come to my senses, right? And so after you had post-nut clarity with somebody, you realize, do I really even like her? Why am I with this woman? So on and so forth.
Facts.
I'm now realizing all the other stuff about her that I can't stand, even though I didn't busted a nut.
Well, that's because the intention was to bust the nut, and that was one of the reasons why you was with her in the first place. That's the whole idea, is that when you remove that intention from the very beginning, because there's women that you just hang out with, that's absolutely awesome. That I know you, Shan, you are a dude that can spend time around a lot of different people and just genuinely enjoy them, right? And so you start to see other qualities with them. But what Ali is saying, that when sex clouds your judgment, you overlook certain things because you're looking at that person from a sexual perspective. People that you're not looking at from a sexual perspective, you can then more effectively vet whether or not they're even supposed to be in your presence in the first place.
I guess my argument would be, with sex already involved, you'll come to that a lot quicker. That's the whole point.
Not true.
That's
not true.
Man, how many times?
Hold on, y'all.
Let me finish. Damn, can I get my sentence out?
Yeah.
I just want to say, oftentimes that's the whole premise of post-nut clarity, fellas. The whole idea of that is, soon as I come to my senses. It's before, if I don't come, I'm letting shit get by. I'm letting her do things that I otherwise wouldn't do. I'm ignoring red flags because I got sex on my mind, but we're not having it. I'm holding back. I'm doing semen retention, but all this other shit that she's dealing with, I'm letting it slide until I have sex. And now suddenly those things that was bothering me before we had sex is now bothering me to the point I don't want to be here. It just depends on how you look at it. But that's the whole premise of post-nut clarity.
I think you're looking at it from we'll go with it like this. I think you're looking at it from a male's perspective, right? That you're saying that the man is not is his judgment is not clouded because he's had sex. That's what you're saying. And then he comes to the realization that once he did have it, now he has the clarity to say, well, nah, I shouldn't be with her. Right? That's crazy.
Post-nut clarity.
Okay,
that's
got
what that
it.
is.
Cool. However, as a man, you know that the woman is emotionally attached to you through sex, right?
Oh, I'm thinking of a rhetorical question. Yeah, women are emotionally connected, absolutely.
So you as a leader and understanding that, then that's when if you know that she is going to be, her judgment is going to be clouded, then why would you want to make that a situation where you say that you have to have sex in order to even start a relationship, knowing that it's going to cloud her judgment based on what you've already said? Wouldn't it make more sense to not have sex and to find out more about her so that she can then in exchange find out about you?
I agree, but I think I agree when you said cloud. I used emotional, but sex doesn't necessarily cloud women's judgment. It doesn't make them cloudy or not sure about what the fuck they're doing either. I tend to want to give women a little bit more intelligence and
that's wild.
Wow,
yo, I'm like
so you're saying that women are emotional, but when they have sex, then they're not going to be more emotional. They're not going to be more attached to the dude.
Cloud their judgment.
That's the whole design of sex, bro.
Yo, humble dad, you're a wordsmith, so I am too. You said cloud their judgment. Are you saying that women, after having sex with men, all their judgment is clouded now?
Yes.
To some degree, yes.
Yes.
You know that, Shan?
Chemically.
Shan, you know that. Look at you. Shan, you know that. It's
biologically, their judgment is clouded.
Worse than us. Yes. Worse than us.
Way worse.
We can hit something and don't even know the name.
I will say this though: if her judgment is not clouded, that's a huge red flag. That means she have been around the streets for way too long. I just want to put that out there.
Yeah.
So
yes, overall, I would say yes. It does kind of shake up things if the premise is you just having if you have sex before you get to know a person, then you are going to have, because you're going to be so in the mode of trying to get back to the sex as opposed to trying to figure out who this person is. That's what I wanted to say.
I think that's where the maturity part comes in. I know we want to hear Bruiser. I think that's where the maturity part comes. And I hear what you're saying as the leader, and a woman, I get it. Women are children, I guess, is what you guys are subscribing.
That ain't what I'm saying.
Well, I'm just saying, she had sex and now she's all confused, bro.
Do
And
look
so
like
she doesn't know what the
Mr.
fuck she's doing. That's what it sounds like when I hear that women's judgment is clouded when after they have sex with a guy.
That's not. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that it's clouded for you. You were saying that it's not going to be clouded for men. I disagree with that statement, but I said let's rock with what you're saying. As a man, you know that the woman's judgment is going to be clouded because she's emotionally attached to you after sex. Most women are.